Welcome to the Chameleon Academy studio. It's Sunday, 11 p.m., and my Shamrock Chameleons are coming Wednesday morning. And I made the genius decision just now that I'm going to put them in my screen versus hybrid cage setup, which is right there. That big gaping hole where two cages should be. I've got a blank space, baby, and I've got 2 days to make it happen. I'm going to get some sleep, but we're going to hit the ground running tomorrow morning.
Good morning. I hope you're well rested because we have a whirlwind 2 days ahead of us. In that time, we need to fill this space back here with 2 cages to be ready for the pair of Shamrock Chameleons that are coming in Wednesday morning, and we have our unboxing. Shamrock Chameleons are officially known as Kaluma o'Shaughnessyi. They are a rarely seen species from Madagascar, but such an incredible chameleon. They are mild-mannered with gorgeous greens and blues, and look at that tail. I am working with a group of chameleon keepers to try and establish these in captivity. The pair on Wednesday is coming to me from Jay Dubé of One World Exotica, who has been an amazing support for this project. I am grateful for the opportunity to include this pair with the available genetics. This vlog is going to be a record of the progress of this project, and so if you want to follow along, hit the subscribe button. Now, I better get to work. First of all, welcome to the Chameleon Academy studio. This is where I do most of my live sessions and I record a great number of those educational videos. Behind me over here, these are the Chameleon Academy line of arboreal cages from Custom Reptile Habitats. That's the XL behind me and the L over there, and you see that it's not set up. We're going to be doing that on this vlog. Over here, there's my plant shelf. This is, of course, where I keep all my plants. And then the desk, of which we do the fecals that you see all those videos. And back there, that's that blank space where I'm going to be doing a demo center where I'm going to have a screen cage and a hybrid cage. And I'm going to be doing a number of videos explaining the difference between the husbandry of a screen cage and a hybrid cage. Screen cage husbandry is very common out there in the community, but there are some extra skills that we need to develop to effectively use hybrid caging. And it's worth it doing that because we get so much more control with hybrid caging. So I'm going to have a Reptibreeze XL screen cage back there and a Dragon Strand tall hybrid. Now I came up with the great idea to house my pair of Shamrock Chameleons in those cages, which is a genius move, which means I can educate about quarantine along with the differences in husbandry. But it puts a little pressure on me because they're coming in on Wednesday and the clock is ticking. So this is the plan of attack. I need to set up a Reptibreeze XL, a Dragon Strand hybrid. I need to put branches and plants in both cages, and I need to do it in a special way for quarantine. And yes, there is a special strategy, which we will definitely go over in a future vlog. Now, I am on a time crunch, so I need to do things effectively and efficiently. The biggest wild card in all of this is the plants. And if I can't find the plants, that's the one thing that may throw a wrench in all of this. Now, usually when you're looking for plants for a chameleon cage, you're looking for things that are big, bushy, hang down, give you a wall of leaves. In a quarantine situation, I gotta be a whole lot more careful because I don't want any leaves hanging down that could catch the poop and pinball it back and forth, spreading all those parasite eggs all over the place. I don't want anything between the branch and the bottom of the cage. In my opinion, the spider plant is the perfect plant for the quarantine situation because it's big, bushy, blocks the line of sight. I can put perching branches behind it and the chameleon can feel secure, but there's nothing hanging down for the poop to bounce off of. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump in the car, we're going to go to Home Depot, and we're going to grab some spider plants. So let's get on with it. All right, here at the local Home Depot. Actually, it's not local. I went to the big one because I really hope they have my spider plants. This is an interesting one. This is a Tradescantia Nanook. That's a rare kind. I would snag that one if I didn't already have some. And oh, here are some Enjoys. These are a Pothos that has a variegation. I enjoy those. You know I have an absolute love for alocasias, and they're really making it hard not to add another one. But I have this variety. So Bill, no, Bill, no. Boston ferns. Those are nice ones to use. They get very thick, and they do well inside of cages, but they do like
really take over. When they're doing good, your cage will be filled with those. So here's a fun one. This is a Nepenthes tropical pitcher plant, and people like carnivorous plants. And this is interesting because I believe this is actually a Lata, I think. Usually in Home Depot, you're going to find a hybrid between, it's called Ventrata, and it's a hybrid, but this may be a Lata if I'm not mistaken. It's kind of hard to see with those traps all messed up. These aren't that great of specimens, but if you like carnivorous plants, Nepenthes are a great addition to a chameleon. They do great in a chameleon cage. Ah, Venus flytraps. Oh, my favorite. These are awesome. Now, of course, it would be really cool to have these in a chameleon enclosure, right? The reason why keeping Venus flytraps in with chameleons is not as simple as just putting them in is because Venus flytraps, they need a lot of light. So they have to be up near the light, so it's kind of hard to see them. And they actually come from South Carolina, so they need a very cold winter. They actually would do great if they were snowed on. I mean, usually we don't think of Venus flytraps like that, but that is the reality of it. And so they can't stay in a chameleon enclosure for the entire year. You have to take them out, put them in the refrigerator. And this is actually a reason why a number of people think, oh, I didn't do so well with my Venus flytrap because it died. Well, no, it just went dormant, and that's what they do every year, and that's what's required. So that's why Venus flytraps are a little bit problematic in a chameleon enclosure. Oof, not looking good. It is looking like I will be denied my spider plants, and so I'm just going to have to get a little bit creative. I can do that. I can do that. I just wanted to show you how perfect spider plants were. I'm going to have to show you on some of my older enclosures.
Hey, Bill. You don't seem very happy.
I'm not. I was looking for spider plants. I need spider plants, and they didn't have them.
Would a Boston fern be okay?
Boston ferns would not do the same job. Just they get too bushy, they get too big. And what I'm looking for is something that is manageable, that only takes up the front half of the cage, so the chameleon can hide in the back half. See, all of this is very carefully planned. Very carefully planned. You can't just substitute things. I mean, everything has a place.
All right, well, that was kind of a disaster. I spent a day that I did not have just bouncing around the city looking for a crazy spider plant. And so that's okay. As chameleon keepers, we know. So I'm just going to have to adjust. I will be able to use other plants, like I have pothos around here and philodendron and such. And the only thing I have to do is make sure that all of the things that hang down are in the front. So I'll have all the plants in the front and then the branches in back. And that way the chameleon feels safe in back and doesn't have a reason to come up to the front. And since this is a quarantine situation, I don't have to use the best looking plants. I'll probably have to throw them all away anyways. And so I can use some of the plants around here that are being rehabilitated. Tomorrow I'm going to have to assemble the cages, branch them, plant them, set them up, and be ready for Wednesday morning when the shamrocks come in. I'll see you tomorrow.